I am addressing you this evening because our beloved country has experienced truly grave events of the utmost seriousness today.
Based on the current update that we have about the recent coup d'etat in Benin Republic, there is peace, there is tranquility. The president of Benin Republic is back in office as we speak.
Sorry for the little hiccup. That's just one of the challenges of live broadcasts. We don't want you to miss this moment, this solemn occasion, when the head of state has decided to address his fellow citizens, and not only them, but also the international community, to share with us his perspective on what has happened and no doubt to tell us what will happen next. We're following the head of state closely through the corridors of the presidential palace as he heads toward his office, where our cameras are ready to capture every moment of this statement. A statement that is undoubtedly very important at this pivotal moment, a moment that is crucial for the present and future of Benin. We will join the head of state in just a moment to hear him, to listen to his statement.
And this only means that there is a significant level of improvement to the security and the restoration of the constitutional authority. Ladies and gentlemen, as we speak to you, President Patrice Talon has now been able to brief the nation. And ladies and gentlemen, he really appreciated a lot of neighbors that actually played a significant role in restoring peace.
Distinguished Beninese men and women, my very dear compatriots, I am addressing you this evening because our beloved country has experienced truly grave events of the utmost seriousness today. Indeed, a small group of soldiers, under the pretext of false claims, has started a mutiny with the aim of attacking the institutions of the Republic and of destabilizing our nation, by thus calling into question the democratic order. Such an undertaking would have resulted in plunging our country into an adventure with disastrous consequences for the days to come. It would have brought a halt to the development process initiated by our country, thanks to the efforts made by all its daughters and sons. In such circumstances, my Republican duty compels me, as President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, and guarantor of the country's stability, to take appropriate measures to thwart this scheme by adventurers eager to drag us back into a past we remember with sorrow. Therefore, in coordination with the Command of the Defense and Security Forces, I have undertaken the necessary actions to maintain peace, with the aim of ensuring the safety and peace of everyone throughout the entire national territory. I would like to take this opportunity to commend the sense of duty shown by our army and its leaders, who have remained Republican and loyal to the nation. Together with them, we stood firm, regained our positions, and cleared out the last pockets of resistance from the mutineers. This is a commitment. And this mobilization allowed us to thwart these adventurers and spare our country from the worst. This betrayal will not go unpunished. This is also an opportunity for me to congratulate all our defense and security forces for their sense of duty. At the same time, I would like to spare a thought for the victims of this senseless adventure. Likewise, for those innocent individuals still being held by the mutineers who are currently on the run, I want to unequivocally assure them that we will indeed do absolutely everything within our power to locate and find them and bring them home safely, safe and sound. My dear compatriots, I would also like to take this opportunity to thank you, especially those of you, both inside and outside the country, for your active support and your many messages of encouragement. Throughout this day, they have reassured us.
According to the sources that actually gave us this information, they told us that France, Nigeria, and ECOWAS played a very crucial role. And the Nigerian president has equally come out to actually praise the Nigerian armed forces, you know, the Air Force personnel that actually flew those fighter jets to Benin Republic to restore peace and tranquility. According to them, they said they are fighting for the right and for the peace and freedom of the Benin people. Ladies and gentlemen, is this the real intention of the fight? What is ECOWAS all about, ladies and gentlemen? If you look at the body language of Patrice Talon in this video, he looks so happy, he looks so grateful. I think the escalation was for real. I mean, he was pressured. You could see from his body language. That is the body language of a man who was at the brink of breaking, in my opinion. You know, just looking at the body language of the president right there, how many times he touched and shook hands with those security forces, those security personnel. That was the body language of a man that almost lost grip of the constitutional authority in the country. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the current situation, and he has actually addressed the people of Benin Republic. Now, after this episode, you know, it didn't just stop there. The president of Nigeria, through his official X platform, has actually released a statement, and this is a very, very decisive statement, because the next 24 hours of what is about to happen in Benin Republic will determine the next geopolitical you know, place of ECOWAS in, you know, Africa generally. Ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to what the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had to say. According to the X post of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria, he said the combined force of Nigeria, France, ECOWAS was enough to shift the balance of the current escalation in President Talon's favor. According to the Nigerian president, said earlier today, on my orders, the Nigerian armed forces stood gallantly as a defender, a protector of constitutional order in the Republic of Benin. On the invitation of the government, our armed forces added within the ambit of the ECOWAS protocol on democracy and good governance. They have helped stabilize neighboring country and have made us proud of their commitment to sustain our democratic values and ideas since 1999. Nigeria stands firmly with the government and people of Benin Republic. These are the words of President Tinubu, but there is only $1 billion question here, ladies and gentlemen. You know, given the current insecurity in Nigeria and the level of escalation of kidnapping and, you know, wanton crimes in the country, you know, and a situation where the former defense minister of Nigeria said that it is not possible for some of the Nigerian airstrike to go through the thick forest of the Nigerian tropics, that they won't be able to hit the terrorists where they are hiding in the thick forest of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a big question mark right there. But the same combat capability was deployed to a neighboring country whose terrain they are not even familiar with. But, you know, with precise GPS coordinates and, you know, collaboration with the intelligence agency of Benin Republic, they were able to decisively launch more than 6 airstrike, you know, air to surface airstrike, precisely. And after, you know, launching an air campaign that actually shifted the momentum and the calculus of the escalation in Benin Republic, they returned back to base. According to the information we had, they said allegedly one of the aircraft came from Abuja and one of the aircraft came from Lagos. Ladies and gentlemen, so it begs the question, what is the priority of the Nigerian government? There is still insecurity in Nigeria. But here's Nigeria going to Benin Republic. Is it a posture? Do they really have the military might to combat terrorism? If they really have that military capability, which they just showed in the last 12 hours, why is there still kidnapping in Nigeria? Why is there insecurity? Why was the death of the brigadier general, why has the death of that brigadier general gone unpunished? The body has not still been found as we speak. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of question mark right here. And I can't really understand. I don't have the answers. I don't have the cards. But be my guest in the comment section. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not, it didn't stop there. Because ECOWAS has now launched a constitutional right to some people to invade. And to some pro-ECOWAS sources, they said is a constitutional right to protect. According to ECOWAS, there's a further to the earlier statement On the Republic of Benin, the ECOWAS Commission hereby informs the general public that 1. Pursuant of the provision of relevant ECOWAS instruments, in particular Article 25E of the 1999 Protocol relating to the mechanism for conflict prevention, management, resolution, peacekeeping, and security. Then 2, after consultation among members of the Mediation and Security Council at the level of the head of state and government, the clear authority of ECOWAS and head of state and government has ordered the deployment of elements of ECOWAS standby force to the Republic of Benin with immediate effect. The regional force shall be made up of troops from the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Republic of Sierra Leone, Republic of Cote d'Ivoire, and the Republic of Ghana. The force shall support the government and the Republic of Benin to preserve constitutional order and the territorial integrity of the Republic of Benin. Abuja released the statement. The president of ECOWAS is Julius Madaki. But with the recent maneuvers and action that we've seen in Benin Republic in the last 24 hours, it seemed to me that the authority of ECOWAS still resides with Nigeria. This statement was issued out of Abuja. So to me, it seems like ECOWAS has a very, very great synergy with the European authority because, a call from Macron and the next thing we're seeing in Benin Republic is airstrikes. And according to the information we heard, there are, minor civilian casualty, and no matter how minor it is, the casualties are casualties. But ladies and gentlemen, for the fact that the civilians in Benin Republic were actually pro coup d'etat, who knows what will happen when these forces enter Benin Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the latest information that we have concerning the coup d'etat in Benin Republic. So given the fact that ECOWAS wants to deploy their military human personnel capability to Benin Republic, could this mean that the coup plotters are still more active within the borders of Nigeria, of Benin Republic? Could it be that the country is divided? These are questions that time will answer, because we need to give this a lot of time. By the time we get to midday, we'll see our further updates that we'll be bringing to you. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very surprising turn of events. But ladies and gentlemen, as we speak, the Beninese authorities are back on track. They are back in action. The democratic authorities have been restored. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter at this point who is right or who is wrong. Well, at the end of the day, this is the current reality on the ground. You can kindly drop your opinion in the comment section below. But ladies and gentlemen, no matter who you support, all I have to say at this point is I think the priority of ECOWAS is not right, because most of the ECOWAS countries are currently suffering from a high level, dangerous level of insecurity that is escalating like wildfire. And the response we've just seen in the last 24 hours has been unprecedented. If they had been able to invest this same energy and this same determination in the fight against terrorism, maybe they would have been able to battle the terrorists to the ground. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said, it's a catch-22. It depends on where their priority lies. Thank you for coming back again. We'll continue to bring you the information as it continues to unfold. We just wanted to let you know that this is the situation. Let nobody tell you something else. It's your man 7200 signing out from 7 before I go. I need to continue our victory asset. And I just want to say this. In the middle of all this, I think the AES state needs to mount their guards. All territorial borders must be properly fortified because, nothing can be taken for granted at this point in time. You can kindly drop your opinion in the comment section below. Thank you, and God bless you.